The design of a budget phone is usually a lower priority for manufacturers, but on the Moto G10 Power, I think Motorola has done a pretty decent job. Diagonal 3D texture on the back. Now the body is built entirely from sturdy plastic, and this Aurora grey color that I have hides fingerprints pretty well. In the front we have a 6.5-inch HD Plus display. Now let's talk about specs. The Moto G10 Power uses Qualcomm Snapdragon 460 SoC, offering an official IP52 rating for water resistance and dual-band Wi-Fi. When it comes to software, Motorola has always offered a clean Android experience, and this continues. The Moto G10 Power runs a near-stock version of Android 11 along with a few tweaks along the way. For instance, there's an adaptive performance toggle in the Settings app which claims to help launch your frequently used apps quicker. The Moto app offers all the usual shortcuts and gestures which we're used to seeing on Motorola phones. The lack of any bloatware is always refreshing, and I didn't really encounter any ads or spammy notifications during my week-long review period. Motorola has struck the best balance in my opinion between offering a near-stock Android experience and some creature comforts such as gaming mode, which I think others could learn from. The Moto G10 Power doesn't heat up during regular use. Now let's come to the piece de resistance of the Moto G10 Power, and one of the main reasons you would actually consider buying this at this price, the battery life. The 6000 mAh battery easily lasted 2 full days on one charge, and this was with rigorous use too. If you're not a heavy user, you should be able to go well beyond that. Now, charging speeds are decent for this battery capacity. You can expect roughly a 54% charge in an hour, but charging it fully still takes close to 2 hours. The Moto G10 Power also ran for a little over 25 hours in our HD video loop test, which is pretty good. Moving on to the camera, we have a 48 megapixel primary, an 8 megapixel ultra wide, a 2 megapixel depth, and a 2 megapixel macro camera. I honestly like the camera module design too, as it doesn't really protrude outward too much. Now on the front you get an 8 megapixel selfie camera. Speaking of the performance of the rear cameras, the primary one is something you'll want to be using most often as it captures the best images out of the lot. Daylight shots were decent with good HDR details and colors. Close-ups looked good too, and thanks to minimal shutter lag, it was possible to get sharp photos of moving objects as well. The ultra-wide angle camera is a nice addition. The depth camera works well as portrait shots look very good with a pleasing bokeh quality. Now in low light situations, the main camera captures much softer details. Night mode helps fix the exposure. The front camera works pretty well. Now coming to videos, the Moto G10 Power can shoot up to 1080p 60 fps. You do get stabilization for the main camera and the ultra-wide cameras, provided recording is at 30 fps.